Hi, I'm Christine Gilfillan. I'm the Associate Director at Berks Women in Crisis. Welcome to our story series, The Place You Start. I'm very excited today because my guest is Joan Crater. Joan is retiring this year after 28 years at the shelter at Berks Women in Crisis. Joan is our longest standing employee. As a matter of fact, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, and Joan at 28 years is the person who's been with us the longest. So this is her final week in the office, and she's checking things off one by one. It's my last staff meeting. Well, that's still to come.
This is my last public appearance.
This is her last public appearance,
Yes.
probably. But I'm really excited to have you here today. And
Thank you.
I'm sure you must remember how you got involved in the first place.
Well, I actually got involved at Berks Women in Crisis. I had a degree in social work, and the cliche is, I wanted to help people, and that's really what I wanted to do. So I got involved because I saw an ad in the paper, and it fit in well. I had small kids at the time, and it was a night shift weekend, so I got involved, and I never thought it would be a career. I thought it would be just a job. But I couldn't come into that job and be face-to-face with victims and look at it anymore as just a job. These were not just people you read about in the newspaper anymore, or people that you saw on an intake and saw their stories that way. These were real people that sometimes just your presence there was a help to them. But I worked night shift when I first started, and I worked night shift for about 13 years. And I always said that I was going to come back to night shift my last year. I never did, because we're at my last year. But I really liked night shift because it was a time where I could really sit with a victim and sometimes talk 3 or 4 hours, because it was quiet, the phones weren't ringing, the kids were in bed, and I could really feel like I could get into the heart and soul and really understand what that victim was going through. So that really helped me as I came on the day shift, and I don't have as much time to spend with the residents, but I love my experience in night shift.
And you had small children. How many children?
I have 7 children.
So,
I have 7 children, and they're not small anymore. My youngest is 26. I was actually pregnant with my youngest my first couple years working there.
Oh my goodness.
So, and I did parenting groups. I still do them, but I did them from the time I started. And I can remember when I used to get down on my knees and show them that my daughter Kelsey is this size, and I would tell them, look at your child when you're talking to them, and this is what you should. I would demonstrate. Well, now I can't get down on my knees, and now my child is bigger than I am.
So what, after all these years, what do you think was your most valuable contribution, or the thing that you'll leave behind that people will remember?
Well, I think 2 things. One is the staff that I had mentored along the way, and it was just so fulfilling to be able to sit back and watch them grow. And it was quite a few staff people from the time. I mean, I've been director of the residential services for about 14 years now, so I've had some staff under me that I've really seen developed, and it was always so excited to see that. But the thing that I will be remembered for the most, and I will remember, is the residents. There's no doubt about it that they changed my life. I think I may have done a little along the way to change theirs. I always had an open door policy in my office. It didn't matter what I was doing. I wanted the residents to always feel important, because they are. And so to allow them to come in anytime that they just wanted to talk, or whatever they want to do. Sometimes they just want to come in and tell me a joke, or whatever it was. I made the residents the most important. Every day that I came in and saw a smile on somebody that was crying the day before really would make my day. So I think that's probably what I will leave behind, and I hope that my replacement will carry through with that, with this open door policy.
You'll be imparting that to her this week, I'm sure, when you're
Yes,
working
that
with
was
her.
one of the first things I talked to her about today.
We ran into someone on the street as we were coming into this building that you knew. I think that everywhere you go, somebody says, Miss Joan, or calls your name out.
Yeah.
So about 4 years ago, we moved to a new location, a new center, and we doubled the capacity of our safe house. How did that change? How did moving to the new building, the more public building, and doubling the capacity of people we were serving?
Well, in our old center, our old building, we had the capacity for 26, and we always had a wait list. There was always people waiting to come in, and we did not have the room to take them. So it changed in the number of beds that we were able to offer, and moving into that building, and that's one of my greatest moments, moving into that building and bringing the women from our 5th Street location, which was not in real good shape anymore, was very small, to a brand new building. And we deal with a lot of the underserved population, and many of them had never lived in a place that was this nice, and it was a shelter. But they were crying. They were so excited over being able to come to this new building. And I loved it. I helped the charrette process, so I helped plan the building and work with the architectures. But from the moment I walked in, I just loved it because I could see that the residents loved it. That was so important. One of my things that I love the best is our dining area, because everybody can sit together. We can fit 50 people in our dining area. And in the old building, we could fit maybe 10 at a time to eat. They had to eat in shifts or put their plates on their lap to eat. And it's really met the needs of the community.
Yeah. So what do you think you'll be happily retired, but what do you think our biggest challenge will be in our shelter in the next 5 years or so?
I think we're going to outgrow it. I think right now we have wait lists again. So I think that's going to be a challenge. One of the things that I see coming up that I'm so excited about, and I will always be part of BWIC from afar and kind of listen in to what's going on, but I love the fact that we're going to have a therapist on staff. We have a lot of residents who have some mental health challenges because of the domestic and sexual violence that they've been through in their life, the trauma that they've been through. So to have a therapist on staff is just phenomenal. Having a person to help with health issues. It's something that's so exciting for the agency. I started in this agency when there was about 5 staff. And 28 years ago, my first welcome to it was to show me where the baseball bat was in case somebody tried to break in. And now soon after that, we got a security system. But to see the growth in the agency and to see the positive movement in the future, I think the hardest thing is going to be just to have residents ever want to leave, because we're just offering so much to them.
So what's next for you after this weekend?
Next for me?
Yeah.
I have a book I haven't finished that I started last year, and I'm anxious to get back to reading. I love to read. I'm going to be babysitting my
How many grandchildren?
Oh, I have 9 total. I have 8 girls, and we just had a little boy 2 weeks ago. But my son is an educator, and his wife, they both are in the Reading School District, so I'll be babysitting a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So I'm not sure which job is hardest, the job at the safe house or the babysitting, but I know this is something that I've looked forward to doing ever since my kids had grandchildren, being able to just be able to babysit full time. So,
yeah.
So I'm
well,
excited.
I just want to say we're going to be saying thank you a lot this week and in the future, but I just want to say thank you so much for everything. I've learned so much from you as well. We'll all miss you.
Thank you. I'll miss all of you too. I really will. I'll miss all of you.
And thanks for being on the program today. Thank you for tuning in to The Place You Start. We have guests stopping by each week. Check in again for more stories at berkswomenincrisis.org. And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.